So yesterday we spoke about multiple things. We spoke about file permission first, then we spoke about user creation. How do we add user? How do we delete user? And what is octal way of assigning file permission? What is symbolic way? This is what we have seen yesterday. So let's continue the user management topic and let's understand how do we create group and how do we add group and things like that. Okay. Before that, let me create a VM quickly so that we can log in. Give me one quick minute. Anyone has any questions while we are waiting for the VM to come up? Any questions, any doubt, guys? Not just related to yesterday's topic, any topic. No questions? I hope you guys have started your practice without wasting much time. Central US. Let me log in as Valaxy. Okay, so let's review and create. Let's wait while the VM is coming up. Hopefully I'm audible to you guys and you can see the screen. Anyone?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Thank you, Victoria. Thanks, Josh. I think there was a bit of confusion with the shadow file yesterday. So I'll just recap the shadow file about how the inactive and things like that. So let me just log in. I'll take a screenshot and or else let me use this screenshot itself. Okay, we'll cover the shadow files again. So this is a shadow file. Basically, what exactly this file is. Whenever the user is created and whenever the user password is generated, those information is kept inside this shadow file. So basically the password is not kept in a text format, guys, in a plain text format. This is stored as a hashed passphrase. It's a hash form, which is an encrypted form in which the password is kept. So even if you are the administrator, you will not know what exactly the password is. What exactly is the field in this shadow file? Let's understand that. Like if you talk about this Bob is nothing but is the username. Okay. Now this part, this hash pass part, what you see, this is nothing but this is your hash password, the user hash password basically. Okay. Now this part, the third part, is when the password was last changed. This is this part, when was the password last changed. So this is last changed password. Okay. This is minimum number of days by which the password should be changed. This is minimum. Now this is maximum number of days the password is valid. The next one is the maximum number of days. So basically, if you see the number of days the password is valid, so the valid password is not getting expired. That means maximum number of days the password is valid. After that, the user will be forced to change the password again. Okay. Now this 7 is the warning. Did we miss any bracket? Warning. This 7 is the warning where the number of days before the password will get expire. This we start getting warning, correct? Even in Windows, we start getting warning that your password will get expired in 7 days, 8 days. This is that number. Last but not the least, these brackets, what you see, these is inactive. This bracket, the number will show over here is inactive. So basically, there will be a number shown over here. So it will be number of days after that the password expires and the account will be disabled. So the number will be shown since how long the password is inactive. If you see anything over here, that means the password is inactive. Last but the not is this is the date of expiration of the account when the account get expired.
So now there
Okay,
is a no any date. So what we can consider?
there's no inactive because if you see this, the maximum number, this is 999999. So this is not getting expired. This
And the
particular thing.
inactive
Inactive is blank right now. There's nothing inside it. So
means
it's
it.
not inactive right now. Yeah.
Okay, but means if it's inactive, then what number is shown in there?
Depend like how so this is basically the number of days after password expire the account is disabled. So your password got expired and the account is disabled, and since then it's not been used. So after once it is inactive, if the user tries to log in, it will give him the chance to reset the password. And if he does it, then he can log in again, or else he needs to contact the administrator. And when the administrator comes and checks this shadow file, by seeing this box, he'll come to know, okay, like last from 10 days the user has not been logged in and is inactive right now. So he will get a fair idea that from last 10 days the account is inactive.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Okay, I think there was something in the chat also. The last change, the date of the number of days since last change. Yes, that's correct. The last change, when was the password last changed? Okay, so this is again a thought of clarifying this thing again. There was a bit of confusion. Okay, perfect. Let's go back. We have the resource available. Now let's go back to the group. Okay, let me log in quickly. Okay, perfect. Now we saw how do we add users. We saw how do we delete user. We saw how do we add directories and everything like this. Now how do we create a group? Now the group is getting created by default, correct? Now I want to create a group such as development group, QA group, tester groups, and things like that. Now, firstly, how do we view all these groups? So these groups can we find out there is a file called etc group. This is the place wherein you'll find out the different set of groups. So we have Valaxy. This is auto created. This is something we haven't created. We got admin group. We got systemd group. These are all system related groups, guys. SSH group. All this we have. Now, if you want to give someone SSH access, So you can add him into the SSH group. Okay. Now, if you want to create your own group, so group creation is very easy. It's just group add followed by the name. Like if you want development, permission deny. This is, you will need a root or super user privileges to do this. So what I'll do, I'll add sudo in front. Correct. Done. Now how do you verify if this group is created? I can simply go to the task cat etc, and I can simply do a group grep and -I development. Perfect. If you see the group is created, so this is the group and this is the GID, group ID, basically. Do we have information? Okay, so this is a group. If you have any group password, then you can see it over here. And this is a group GID and the list of users added to the group. As of now, if you see the list is blank. We don't have anything in over here. Okay, we don't have a group, we don't have any users added over here. Okay, but if you want to add a user, there is a command. So there are two ways of adding a user. First, if you're creating a user from scratch, so user add, you can have the home directory created for the user, give him whatever home directory you want, such as home/bob, and you can, if you add -G stands for group, and you can just give him the group. What is a group? Development, correct? Development. And what is the username? Bob. Something like this, if you want to do, then you can do it. So automatically the user will be added to the group. Okay, so it's not -H, my mistake, it's -D. Permission deny, again sudo user, I always tend to forget. Done. Now if I go and check the group again, why it's not reflecting. Let's do a cat etc group. Let me quickly go and see in password. Wait, let me do a user delete and let me re-add him. Now we'll add it with a -M. Development name is okay, group name is okay. Perfect. Let's quickly verify. etc group. Still it's not visible. Wait, let me create a directory for him. mkdir. Okay, let me switch back to Bob user first. Switch. Okay, I have not assigned the password also to the Bob, so let me go and assign password to Bob user. Bob test. So we have added the Bob into the group development, but I can't see him in the list. So I'm just going back and just logging in as a Bob. Okay, Bob test. Okay, let me see if Bob is creating anything, where exactly it's getting created. Touch test. See this, guys, he is added. If you see the development group, automatically it is getting added. So I think if I just exit out and just re-log in back, then I can see the details. See, when I'm creating anything inside Bob's home directory, it is getting created in the development group. It's because Bob is added to the development group. But eventually it should show, let me exit out of this. It should let me log in as root user now. It should show in the etc group file also. Let me just view it again. etc group. Why it is not showing? That's a different story. Let me see the etc password file. Home directory is visible over here, but I don't see a group visibility. Okay, no problem. I'll have to re-log in, then most probably we can see the group. But this is how it should look like. If you start adding people, this is how it will look like in the etc group itself. But we have already tested that when I logged in as Bob and tried creating anything, the group which is getting auto assigned is Bob. That is the thing which is getting auto assigned right now. Okay, any questions with this group thing, guys? Okay, in case you forgot to add any group and you want to add an existing user to that group, then how do we do it? Now we have a user called Valaxy. Let me exit out of this. I have a user called Valaxy. Now Valaxy was not part of the group before. Now you want to add him now. So user is already added. How do we modify the existing user? Then the modification can be easily done with the command user mod. User mod stands for modifying the existing user. Okay, this you can do -g followed by the group name followed by the username. What is the username? Valaxy. And you need to use sudo. This is how you can, not just the group modification, guys, user mod can be used for any sort of modification you do after user is created. So user mod commands will enable you to make changes to an existing account from the command line. If you want to make any changes, like you want to change the shell permanently, you want to change the expiry, you want to change all the status, so whatever user related things you want to change, you can go and do it. You want to change the home directory, you want to change the naming, like Valaxy, suppose you want to give us some different name to this user. Even all this is all possible with this option. Okay, and I can use -m for the modification. No, wait. Okay, let me remove this -m, not needed. Done. So this is how a user will be modified. And like, for example, if I just create anything now, this is Valaxy, because this was by default, it was created. Now we have added the user into the development group also. Now if you want this, then you need to go and change. The Bob user was by default added to the development group. Now this person was firstly added to Valaxy, now you're adding it to development. So he's part of two groups now. If you want to verify, etc group grep. So this is the difference you will find out. What is the name of the user? Valaxy. Let's name this way. See, Valaxy is added where the places where he is added. This Valaxy user might be part of development, still not showing. He's part of administrator group, he's part of Sudo group, and he's might be part of a Valaxy group also. Development and Valaxy group. So he's part of both. Now if you want to change it to development, you need to go and do a change group. in that way if you want, because this user is part of both the groups. So by default it is Valaxy, hence it is giving you the Valaxy information right now. Make sense, guys? Now if you want to change or delete the group, what you need to do, and before that I think there's one more shadow file like thing in group also. So if you want to delete the group, it's very easy. Group del followed by the group name, whatever the group name is. So the group will be removed. You will need a sudo privileges to even to delete group. If I do this, you cannot remove the primary group of user Valaxy. See the error. Now this Valaxy is the primary user, and we have added the development group to him. Now he is giving error that you cannot remove. Okay. Any questions? Anyone? Any
Why
confusion?
we are
Yep.
not able to remove the user from that group?
No, we are not, we can remove the user. Okay. But what I am doing, I am deleting the group itself.
It's not means why we are not able to delete.
I can use sudo and forcefully do it. Now,
Okay,
why we are
okay.
not able to delete? Valaxy is a primary user right now. Understand this. Valaxy is a primary user, and primary user is part of this development group now. We just added previously, correct? With the user mod command. Now, if you're deleting the group of the primary user, this user may get unresponsive. Hence, it is not letting you delete this group firstly. Now, if it's just related to Bob, then we can do it very easily. But just because it is the Valaxy is also added to the development group, it is not letting you. But now let me just add a new group and show you. It will not give any error when you go and delete the new group. So group add testers, for example. Okay. Now if I just try to delete this group, it will not give any sort of warning or anything as such. I'm using sudo because it has to read the etc group file, which is a root file. And if I just remove testers, see, gone.
We
So
got it.
this was a, yeah. So hence this is the primary user. It is not letting you. If you want to delete, still possible. Remove the user from that group. Add the user to Valaxy again, and then try to delete it. Then it will be deleted. Okay, make sense, guys? Any confusion?
Can you just do that for us so we can see?
What do you want me to do?
Like remove the user and then delete it.
Yes, we can simply do this thing. Use sudo user mod -g, and we can add Valaxy to the user Valaxy. So Valaxy is the group, both are same, guys. So that's why Valaxy. Last is the username Valaxy. -g Valaxy is a group name. Now we have added this. Now if you want to delete, sudo group del Valaxy. Group del cannot be removed. Wait, it will be removed. We have changed the user group now. It should let me remove. Let me go inside this. Let me group
What is the use of that user mode? After that sudo, you enter user mode. Add
user
user in the
mode.
group.
Yep, no, user mode is for doing modification. If you want to add, then simply user add. So if you have decided that this user should be part of this particular group at beforehand, before creation user, you have all those information. So at that time you don't need to use user mode. User add and you can give -g, and at the same time while creating the user you can even add the user to the group. Later suppose you have not added the user, but now the user is all created. Now you want to add him to a particular group. So how do you do it? Then in that case you'll be using user mod. That is for basically doing any sort of modification to an existing user. Okay.
Okay.
Group del, what is the name of the group? Development, correct? Okay, when Bob is part of it, guys, we need to remove Bob also. So let me add Bob to Valaxy itself. So again, I'm doing user mod because I'm doing a modification to Bob. So user mod -g, what is the name of the group? Valaxy. And let me add Bob. Okay, Bob removed. So we had two members in that group, because of which it was not letting us to delete the group. Now I have removed both the members, Valaxy and Bob both. Now delete, gone. Just because we have had the primary members inside the group, hence we were not able to do it. Make sense? Any confusion? Okay,
So
no
Rohit,
confusion. Yeah, tell me.
so if you want to remove that group or delete the group, so there shouldn't be any users in that group. That
Any
is the
user,
meaning.
yes. If you have any user, then it will not let you delete anything. Even though if you see, I'm logged in as a root user still.
Just means only primary users, means rest of the, if we, there are others, then we can delete.
No, still, because if you see, Bob was not even the primary user, and it was giving you primary, like this is directly a user's created. Any user which you create directly from your server, they become eventually a primary user itself. A third party user or a remote user, any which ways, if you're adding them, then it will not hamper your operation. You can remove any given point of time. You can delete the group also, they will not even come to know. But if there are any primary user who is logged in right now, or who are logged in, who are active, and if you're trying to delete a group, then in that case you will not, it will not allow you. It will basically ask you, these are the set of users who are logged in right now, kindly remove them first. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think there is one command, get ent, and we can just list group this way. Okay, so this is also a shortcut command, get ent. Okay, let me exit out of this root first. Let's move on to the next topic. So all the commands and everything is written in this PPT, guys. Okay, this part, sudoers. Now sudoers, this is the part where you need to go and add the user if you want to give him the root privilege. So there is a file called sudoers file. If you want to give a root privilege to the person, this is the place where you need to go and add him. And let me show you the file. So I'll have to be in root user for this, because only root user can edit anything inside this file. This is a read-only file basically. Not everyone can access, or not everyone can edit the file. This is only done by root. This is sudoers. See this. Now this is the place if you want to add, select suppose the Bob. If you want to give Bob a sudo privilege or root privilege, this is the place where you need to go and add him. So in this way, when you add him to this field, then Bob will get root privilege. So if you see Valaxy, what I am doing with Valaxy, I am running sudo in front of it. How he is able to run sudo? Did we give sudo access to Valaxy? No. So that was by default created. So by default, it had this root privileges, guys. But like Bob, this is something we have created just now. With Bob, if you try to download any package, or if you do try to do anything, you'll not be able to do it, because Bob doesn't have sudo or access. So in order to give Bob sudo or access, you need to add Bob into this file. Once you add Bob into this file, Bob will be able to have super user privileges. Okay, then Bob will have super user privileges. This is how this will look like. Let me. So the first, this is the user. So this is user. Give a space, then on host, which host you want to. So if you see all, so if there are servers and there are multiple hosts, then it will be given root privileges on all the hosts. Run as a user. Which user you want to run as, and which group, all. And if there is any specific command you want to allow him, so there is a chance that you don't want to give all the privileges to him, all the root privilege. You just want to allow him shut down and restart privilege you want to give him. So that command will come over here. As if now if you see all, that means everything is allowed. This person can do everything. But even for root super user privilege, you want to be very specific that only these commands he should be able to perform, such as restart, shut down, accessing the drives, or editing the root files such as etc host, etc shadow. All these privileges you want to give. So you can mention all those commands over here. Okay, this is how you can give root privileges to anyone, etc. And this is, make sure if you're full aware what exactly you're doing, then only go and make changes over here, guys. Don't corrupt this file. If you are fully aware what exactly you're doing, then only come and make or edit this file. Okay, so it is etc sudo in case if you want to give him a root privilege. Okay, now let's come back. Group management, we have saw how do we add user, etc password change, whom are logged in, and password. All these commands are given over here. Followed by, if you want to create a group, see, user add, if you want to give a specific UID, specific GID with the home directory, with the shell, and with a bit of description about the user and username. There are more flags, like if you want to give a custom comments, directory, expiry date if you want to give, specific GID, create user with multiple secondary group if you want to create a secondary group, hyphen capital G, guys. S stands for login shell, U stands for UID. Deleting the user, adding the person in the group, creating the group with a specific GID, and deleting the group. So this is all given over here. Whatever commands we ran, this is exactly given over here. Okay. Chown. Okay, did we not cover this chown? Okay. Changing file permission. Oh, okay, this part was remaining. Let me exit out of this. Okay, now if you see this group, I think we covered chown, correct? Guys, did we cover chown? Change ownership. Okay, if not, let me cover it again for you guys.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we did. Okay, thank you. So chown is basically changing the ownership. If you want to change the user and group, so ch chown, and if you want to just change the group, then ch group. Now this is very important. Package manager. Package management plays a very important role in DevOps because most of the time, when I say most of the time, you will be using packages. Basically, you will be setting up DevOps tools on Linux. All this user management and group management and all this, whichever I showed you till now, this is basically an administrative task. Okay, a Linux administrator will be doing all this mostly. Okay, but this is just a good to know information that how a basic user, how a basic group, how the permission and things work. So this is just a good to know information. But package manager definitely will come across because you will be the person who will be setting up DevOps tools on. Linux servers. Okay, what exactly is package manager? So if I talk about package manager in simple word, it's package manager is a method of installing, updating, removing, and keeping track of software updates from specific repository in Linux system. So in simple word, a package manager is a tool that allows user to install, remove, upgrade, configure, and manage software packages on an operating system. The package manager can be of two type. It can be downloaded using graphical application, and can be also done using command line. Okay, graphical, like as I said, nowadays even in Linux you got Ubuntu and all, which is more like Windows. It is all graphical, wherein you just log into the server and it will get a desktop, and you'll have a package manager from where you can just click and start downloading packages. So that easy nowadays things are. But 100% the servers, if there's any Linux server in your company, you'll not see the graphical desktop kind of thing, because that is only for end users, not for the servers. Okay, basically on servers you will see this black screen. This black screen what you will see on the server, nothing much. Okay, now there are multiple flavors available in the market. Okay. We got Red Hat, we got CentOS, and we got Ubuntu, Debian, SUSE, Fedora. So based on these flavors, there are different package managers as well. So in Ubuntu and Debian and Linux Mint and all this, you will find something like this, .db. This is a package manager in Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint, and all Debian related OSs. There are multiple OSs which belongs to Debian family. So this is one Debian family in which these are the OS available, and they support .debian as a package manager extension. The other family is .rpm. .rpm is nothing but it's a Red Hat package manager, guys. Red Hat is managing this package. So this is used by RHEL, Red Hat's Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora, Mentos. There are multiple other flavors which supports .rpm. Now these are package managers on that operating system. Okay, so Debian package files typically will have a .deb extension, and RPM packages will have .rpm extension. Okay, now if you have seen closely, when I was installing Apache, I didn't use anything as Debian or such. I was simply using something like this, app install Apache 2, something like this I was doing, where I was using Debian. I was not using anything as such, correct? Now why exactly? And even in Red Hat, if you go in Red Hat, you will use something like yum install. And if you want to use install Apache, over there it is httpd. Now we are not using any RPM, not Debian, anything as such. Then why did we using this package manager? Why, what exactly this apt and yum is all about then? Now if you download any packages using RPM or Debian, okay, if you install any, let me show you the package flow first. If you install any packages using this RPM or any Debian, the biggest problem what you have with this RPM and Debian, they don't maintain dependency. What do I mean by that? They don't maintain dependency. Like for example, if you download Git on your Linux operating system, for now the Git is already installed. Okay, so there are Git is not the only tool which is getting downloaded. Git is dependent on some other tools as well. Okay, so if you're installing Git package directly using RPM I install and then followed by Git, Git will not function rightly because there are other things which Git will require in order to work. Okay, so for that, what you need to do, you need to go and install those other packages also manually. For using RPM, each and every packages needs to be managed and installed by yourself if you're using the default package manager, such as in Debian the package manager is dpkg, that's Debian package manager, and in RPM it is RPM itself. So suppose if you're downloading any packages using Debian, then in that case you need to manage the dependencies by yourself. They don't come out of the box for managing the dependency. Now this is the biggest problem, guys. Now if you install any software, the biggest issue over here is to manage the dependency. You don't know what all things this particular application will need in order to work flawlessly. Now this is the biggest issue, and this is the issue which you will face if you are using the default package manager. Now how do we get rid of it? Can do everything for you. It can help you install, it can help you manage, it can help you delete, and it can do everything for you. But the only thing it can't do is to manage dependency. It will not manage dependency for you. Now how do we get rid of such things? Then in order to get rid of such thing, there is a middleware package manager utility which you can use. This is what it is. You will have your Linux system. This is your package manager and package dependency and repositories. This is your package manager, your RPM and Debian. And on top of it, you will have a utility. This utility tool is nothing but your app apt, which I was using, and the other one is if you go to the Red Hat family, that is RPM, not RPM, sorry, Yum. So what exactly these are? These are nothing but these are a third-party tool. These are third-party tool. What exactly they are responsible for? They are responsible to manage the dependencies. They are responsible to install. They are responsible to delete. They are responsible to manage your complete packages. You don't need to do anything manually from yourself. So they will not they do everything by themselves? No, they eventually connect to your package manager itself, get the right packages, get the right dependencies, and they will install it on your local. And eventually the things will be installed on your Linux machine. So Yum is Yellow Dog Updater Modifier, or DPKG. DPKG is nothing but we're talking about APT. Is an open source Linux package management application that uses RPM or Dev package manager. So these are two package manager utility tool which is working on top of your package manager in order to manage dependencies. Yum and DPKG benefits over RPM or Dev are automatic updates. It can also do automatic updates for you. Easy package management and dependency management. The main important point which differs is the dependency management. That is what this APT and all are doing right now. They are managing dependencies. Okay, so normally the packages are in pre-compiled format, binary format. It goes and looks the right package, and based on the requirement it will go and download the package along with the dependency, and it will be clear guys. Like when you go and download any package, for example, let me show you. Sudo app install. So that's why I'm doing app install over here. Apache. I'm not doing yes. Now see the dependency list. The following additional package will be installed along with Apache. Apache bin, Apache data, Apache util, lib APR, libutil, SSL cert, LDAP. Just imagine, will you go and manage this by yourself? If you're using RPM, then you need to install all this by yourself, manually one by one. If you're not using this package manager utility tool. And do you see this? After the operation, it is telling that this much of space will be taken. And if I say yes, it will even show you the display bar, the progress, like what all software was installed and things like that. This is only possible with all these utility tools. If you use the by default RPM and deb, it will not be visible to you. It will go in the background, it will try and install. You'll not even come to know if it is installed or if it is failed or what has happened. So that visibility it will not have. Okay, if I say yes, it will go and automatically install the packages. See, it went to multiple sources. So this sources, this repository are nothing but this Debian sources, guys. This repository are nothing but this source. This is going to this source and getting you the package. APT does not have its own repository, guys. It goes to this source itself, or this source if you're using Yum, to this source and get you the right packages. The only thing is it is managing the entire dependency. And if you see this progress bar and everything, if you use RPM and all, you don't see this progress bar. You don't know what's happening, basically. You'll not even come to know what's happening. Okay. So this is about installation. If you want to remove, there's one single command, you run it and everything will be removed. I'll show you, let this gets in. Yep, tell me.
Can you please explain this with the use of Windows OS term? Means what is it? Means
Yep.
in Windows, what is a Debian? And
Okay, in Windows, we have a Windows package manager, correct? It's a Windows updater.
what is actual means package management in Windows?
Okay, even in Windows, we got, so Windows is basically not used for such things like Apache and all, these are third party. So in the Windows package manager is basically, you get Windows OS update, the .NET version which is running by default. So everything related to Microsoft. So in Windows, that is what gets updated. You get a Windows update. There are, depending upon if it's a major update, minor update, you go and update. Major update gets update automatically. So there are firmware updates, software update, and there are internal software update which you get, which using a Windows installer. I'm not remembering the right word of Windows installer, I think.
Packages we are received from software centers. We're talking about that.
No, not software centered. Those are different. So even in Windows Manager is not that. Yeah, this is what the Windows update is all about. This is a place where you see all the updates. You can see check for updates, and depending upon, you can go and install the packages. So in Windows, but this is from here, you cannot install Apache, Git and all, guys. Okay. In Windows, if you want to install all these third-party tools, then you need to go either on the official website, download the exe file and start doing next. Then it will get installed on your local system. Windows Manager is not managing those for you. Unlike Linux, Linux is, you don't have, in Linux, if you want to install any packages, you need to go through the package manager itself, like .deb or .rpm. And these package manager, till now, I see it will have everything. It will have all the packages which you need, like Git, Nmap, Apache, Tomcat, everything it will have. But apart from it, if you are not able to see any specific package inside it, then there is a way you can download the zip or a tar file and you can unzip it. Okay. So in Windows, this is the Windows Manager. which does the Windows update. So this is very related and very specific to your OS. Nothing additional it does. So whatever your OS has, if your OS has some specific version of Windows, some specific version of .NET, some specific version of firmware, any security patching, anything as such, this is what happens from here. Whereas this package manager which I'm talking about, this is not just about the packages, the third-party packages, but if there's any update related to any software which is running currently onto your operating system, even that will be updated. You can simply see by this command sudo app upgrade, you can see if there are any packages which needs to be upgraded. So if you see 0 upgraded, 0 newly installed, 0 2. So there's all up to date. This is the latest OS which we are using right now. So it's all up to date right now. And if you want to remove any packages, like for example, we have Apache installed, correct? I can easily do sudo apt remove Apache. So this will automatically go. So whenever you install any packages, there are multiple folders where the packages are written. So manually going and removing those packages from each space is a difficult task. Now using this package manager utility tool, you can simply remove the packages by simple command. And it will go and remove the dependencies as well. Along with Apache, there were dependencies which we were using. Now, if you see this packages, when I'm removing Apache, even this dependency is getting removed. Now, if you compare Linux package manager and Windows package manager, so Windows package manager is basically just for your OS, and it has packages related to your OS, which you get frequent update from Windows that there is a new update and you go and update it. Same like if you're using Android or iOS, you get an update from the vendor. iOS update or Android update, you go and update it. What exactly happened? There is a bit of change in the GUI, the security patch gets updated and things like that, which is internal to your phone happens. It will not update your Apache, it will not go and manage your Apache and things like that. If you want any third party application, so for the third party, you go into a Play Store or App Store, you download, and if there's any update, you go and update it from the Play Store itself. So it's a utility which you're using. But in Linux, the package manager is very robust, not just the underlying OS pack files or software. If you want to have any third party application or software to be installed and managed, that can be easily done. See, Apache is third party. It's not a Linux native web server. I'm able to download and manage Apache directly with one single command. There is a way. If you don't want to use apt, you can go in to the official website of Apache, get the binary zip file, put the zip file on your server, unzip it, and manually do it. Even that is possible. Manually, if you want to do manage, even that is possible, but that's a hectic task. Let me tell you, that is a hectic task because you will end up getting errors because you may end up missing out in some of the dependency if you're doing this way. But the right way of managing packages, installing packages, deleting packages is either through this utility tools such as apt, yum, apt get, snap. There are multiple utility tools, guys. I'm just talking about two main utility tools: apt, which is used in Debian family, yum, which is used in RPM family. So these are the two utility tools which you will come across in real time. Now, if I want to remove it, I simply do yes, and automatically things will be removed from my server. Okay, so these are the two tools, and if you want to check what are the packages you have, you can easily list the packages, what are the different set of packages installed, and everything can be done using apt. Okay, any question? If you want more help, sudo apt help, you get more information what all things you can do with apt. I cannot run yum in this because this is not a Red Hat package manager. But when you go to Red Hat or CentOS or Fedora, anything as such, the .rpm family, then over there this apt will not work. If you want to install Apache, then this is what it will work. Over there, the Apache package name is HTTPD, not Apache 2. So keep this in mind. If you're using a CentOS or Red Hat family, there's a minor difference, not major difference. If you are familiar with Ubuntu, you can easily work with Red Hat with bits and pieces. You can just need to do the right package name, R&D, what exactly the name of the package and things like that, and then you can easily work with both the operating system. Okay, makes sense. So the biggest question they will ask you in an interview, what is the difference between apt and the Debian? Why? So apt is the utility tool. It does not have its own package manager. It uses Debian in the backend, guys. Always remember this diagram. It will be using the package manager, the OS underlying package manager. The only difference is what it does, it goes to the multiple, it connects to multiple repositories. If you see these boxes, let's connect. When you run the command apt install Apache 2, it goes and check multiple repositories, it checks for multiple dependencies, then it gets you the exact dependency for that package, and then it lets you that these are the dependency which needs to be downloaded along with your main package which you're looking for. And this is all done automatically in the back. And if you don't use this package manager utility, and if you're using the package like RPM and such, then yeah, do it by yourself. It will not let you, it will not go and check dependencies for you. It will ask you to install the dependency by yourself, or else your package will not work. Okay, makes sense. So that's it for me from this package manager topic. If anyone has any questions, please do let me know. And the next slide is of a VI editor slide. This is something we have already done it.
Can we see what are all the packages available in the repository?
Why not? You can simply, there is a command in, if you're using in Ubuntu machine, you can do sudo. You can use this dpkg hyphen. These are all packages which is available. Like for example, if you want to look git, you can do a grep hyphen I look for git. See this, git is installed. Now this is, I'm doing it on Ubuntu. The same thing will be done on Red Hat, RPM -L, and follow the package name. It will not, this RPM command will not work over here, but yeah, if you're doing it on Red Hat, then you can make use of RPM. Make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. If there's no question, then we can wind up. Make sure whatever we did, practice. We got the weekend now. Practice, and because Monday, so guys, this is Indian Standard Time. We're talking about Monday. For people outside India, it should be Sunday midnight. Okay, keep that in mind. Yeah, there's a question. I thought there was some question. Yeah.
Okay. Is there gonna be an assignment for us this weekend?
Linux assignment, in the assignment, there's no Linux assignment as such, guys. This is all practical. So whatever, just go through my video and whatever commands, or just go through the commands by yourself.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want to know what exactly we did, just go through this PPT and see the commands and try to at least copy paste the command and run it by yourself and see what's happening. Okay.
Can you
I'll,
please share this PPT in the group, please?
why not? It's there on the portal. If you log into the portal, it's there already. But if you want me to share on the group, I can do that for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Let's meet up again. And Monday, I'm starting with Git. It's the first DevOps tool, and this is completely practical, guys. So make sure to be available, because now onwards we'll talk about DevOps tools. We are done with the basic Linux and cloud services. We'll come back to these topics again in between, but now onwards we'll start with the DevOps tools. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and hope to see everyone on Monday. Bye bye.